Hi, and welcome back to Yoga with Tim. Today we're going to start off with a brief seated meditation, a little bit of a breath practice, and then we'll get right into the practice. So find a comfortable seat. Make sure there's something underneath your buttocks so that your hips are elevated so that your knee is in line with the top of your pelvis. Then sit up straight and tall and close your eyes. Feel your breath moving all the way down towards your belly. Feel the belly expand as you breathe in and deflate as you breathe out. Then breathe all the way down into your belly. Pause. Breathe into the upper abdominals. Pause. Breathe into the ribs. Pause. And let all the breath out. Inhale a third of the way. Inhale another third of the way. All the way into the ribs, chest. Pause. And let it all out. Do that 2 more times at your own rhythm. No strain. Last round, keep the nerves calm. Less is more with the pranayama. Then let go of the breath control. Open your eyes and lie down onto your back. Let's start to wake up our core muscles before we begin the practice today. So lie down onto your back. Open up your arms like goalpost arms with your feet hip distance apart. We're going to do some pelvic tilts. So as you exhale, start to tuck your pubic bone towards your chest. Feel your lower back flatten. And as you inhale, arch through your lower back, reach the tailbone towards the floor. Exhale to flatten your lower back. Tuck the pubic bone in towards your chest. Inhale to arch the lower back. One more time. Exhale to flatten. Inhale to arch. Then come into neutral with your feet hip socket distance apart now. As you exhale, start to engage the abdominals below your belly button. And then start to lift your hips up. Roll the hips up and engage the backs of the legs to lift up into bridge. And then slowly lower your hips back down towards the floor. And let the lower back arch. As you exhale, engage the abdominals below the pubis, below the navel to the pubic bone, and then roll up, squeeze the backs of your legs. Descend your shoulder heads. And then slowly roll the spine back down. Now take your arms to the side, press the shoulder heads down, upper arms down, and again, roll yourself up. Squeeze the backs of the legs and hold. And slowly lower yourself back down. Last one, engage the backs of the legs, engage the abs below the navel and roll up. Now hold this last one, stretch the arms out, press the arms down, and then shift the weight into your left foot without leaning to the left. Squeeze the back of the left leg and bring your right leg into table. Then slowly lower your hips halfway. Exhale, come back up. Slowly lower the hips halfway. Exhale, pin from your outer hips and lift up. Lower your hips halfway. Pin from your outer hips and feel all the muscles turn on in the back body. Feel those shoulders press down. Then slowly lower your foot. It's really important. We want to turn on that postural chain. Lean into the right foot, bring the left leg up without leaning over to the right. Then slowly lower your hips halfway. And exhale, lift up. Pin in with the outer hip bones. Feel the back of the right leg turn on. Press the shoulder heads down, upper arms down. Inhale, slowly lower. Exhale, press into the foot, come back up. Inhale, slowly lower. Exhale, press into your foot, come up and hold. And slowly lower yourself down. Good, then open up your arms like cactus arms and let your legs spin over to the right. Look to your left, little stretch here. Come back to center and take the legs over to the left as you look to your right. Come back to center, hug your knees into your chest, and roll yourself up to seated. Come onto hands and knees. Open up your hands, make a big handprint on the mat. And as you spin your inner armpits forward, feel the back muscles turn on, feel your core turn on. I guess let's do this one. Come up onto your fingertips and lift from the center of your hand up into your shoulders. Then lean into your right knee, keeping the engagement through your core, the lift through the center of the hand up and into the shoulders, stretch your left leg back. You can feel if you're not lifting strong through your arms, then it's going to sink into your poor fingers. Change sides. Keep the core turned on as you stretch the right leg back. Set that leg down. Then plant the hands flat, but keep the engaged core feeling, lifted hand feeling from the center of your hand. Lift up into your inner shoulder. Step one leg back into plank. Step both legs back into plank. And hold here. Resist gravity with your front body. So keep the thighs lifted, keep your middle lifted. And hold for 5, 4, keep lifting through the center of the hand, 3, 2, now shift the weight into the right foot without leaning to the right, lift your left leg up an inch. Keep lifting through your front body. Change legs, shift the weight into the left foot without leaning to the left, raise your right leg up. Keep the lift to the center of your hand. Set that foot down, then set your knees down with the toes curled under. Start to stretch back into a modified child. But keep your arms engaged. Press into the hands, roll the outer shoulders down. Then stretch back into your first downward dog. Walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Inhale into a flat back, elongate your spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up. Raise your arms up. Exhale, release your arms down at your side. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Plant hands, step back into downward dog. From downward dog, set your left knee down, step your right foot out to the side, and then upright yourself. So the right thigh is turned out, knee points out to the side, out in line with the second, third toe. Then tip from your hips and bring your forearm onto your right thigh. Take your left arm up and over, slide the hand behind your head. Then as your belly releases back towards your spine, reach from your left hip down into your left knee. Keep turning your right thigh out. Breathe into the stretch and your left side body, armpit, chest, ribs. Slowly release. Bring your hands down, change legs, drop the right knee, step the left foot out to the side, upright yourself, and as you bring your left forearm onto your thigh, take your right arm up and over. Slide your hand behind your head, now lean your head back into your arm, breathe into the space, the stretch in your armpit, chest, and your side ribs. Slowly release that. Bring your hands back down onto the mat. From your hands and your knees, shift forward and lower slowly onto your belly. Then stretch your arms all the way forward. Press the hands down, the tops of the feet down, and roll your outer thighs down towards the floor as you engage the backs of the legs. Now feel your legs turn on like when you're doing the bridge lifts. Bend your elbows out to the side into goalpost position and lift the hands up to shoulder height. Spread from the center of the chest into the elbows, shoulders. Then stretch both arms straight back behind you. Elevate the shoulder head away from the floor. Keep rolling the outer thighs down as you try to lift the hands up. One more time, take the arms straight out to the side. Then arms forward, press the hands down, roll the outer shoulders down, nose down towards the floor, squeeze the backs of the legs, squeeze the quads. Bend the elbows out to the side, lift up to shoulder height, engage the external rotators, back to the shoulders. Arms straight back behind you, open up your chest. Then place the hands next to the side ribs as you roll into low cobra. Lower your chest back down. Now press into your hands and your knees, engage your core without your shoulders sinking onto your chest. Lift up on the hands and knees. And then stretch back to down dog. So it's a lot of core. Your core has to be strong to be able to lift and lower you from the plank position. So before you start throwing yourself into chaturangas, make sure you develop that strength to be able to keep the shoulder head back in its place when you're lifting and lowering. Walk your feet forward. Actually, walk your hands back to your feet. A little trickier. As you inhale, make a flat back, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up. Raise your arms up. Exhale the arms to your side. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Walk your hands out, one handprint at a time. Come into plank pose, hold strong in your plank. Then set knees down with the chest open, lower slowly. Stretch your arms all the way forward, press the feet down and get long. Squeeze the backs of the legs. Lift the skin of your belly as you bend the elbows out to the side and hold. Stretch both arms straight back behind you, open up your chest. So it's a great way to strengthen the shoulder girdle so that we won't be sinking into the chest or into the shoulders when we lift up. Bring your hands next to your side ribs. Hold there. Now keeping the shoulder head back in its position. Press your knees down, lift from your belly, and then press straight up on the hands and knees. Stretch back into downward facing dog. One handprint at a time, walk your hands back to your feet. Start with the other hand this time. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Sit back into chair pose. Sit your buttocks back like you're sitting into a little tiny chair. Open up the sit bones, then scoot from your belly and raise your arms up. Stand and release your arms at your side. It's a quadricep and glute experience there when we're doing that chair. Okay, so now I'm going to set up for some standing poses, and I'm going to take the blocks right at the back of my mat because the blocks are going to help me with my posture. It's not that you're good at yoga or bad at yoga, so you have to do blocks. It's all about getting the lines in your standing poses. So let's start off in mountain. Press the weight back into your heel bones. Open the soles of your feet. Stretch the toes forward and feel your body stack back over your ankles. Let's get the shoulders to roll up and back and then down into position so that you can feel from your ankle to your outer hip to your shoulder to your ear. There's a nice line of energy. Then step your legs wide apart. Spread your arms out to the side. Angle your left toes in slightly. Turn your right leg all the way out. Bend your right knee so that your knee is tracking with your second, third toe. Then tip from your hips out over your leg and put your hand down onto the outside of your foot. Take your left arm all the way over your ear. Press down into your feet and come back up. Turn your legs to the other side. Back foot turns in a little bit, left leg turns all the way out. Now as you bend your left leg, put your hand down onto the outside of your foot and take your right arm all the way over your ear. Press into your feet, come back up. Parallel your feet. And turn your legs to the right for triangle pose. Left leg in slightly, right leg turns all the way out. Now turn your thighs so much so that all four corners of your knee point in the same direction as your toes. And as you go to reach out and put your hand out on the block, reach your sit bones towards your back heel, your hips, but then the whole rest of the spine, I want you to extend it forward out of your hips. Even if you have to come up on your fingertips or up onto your shin because the block's too low. If you go too low, the spine will sink to the floor. You want it to extend up and away towards the wall that your head's pointing at. And take the top arm up. Reach to your feet, come back up. Turn your legs to the other side. And reach out over your straight left leg. Place your hand down, arm up. Reach to your feet and come back up. Then turn your toes in, step your legs together. Now we're going to work on plugging the thigh bone into the socket. So whenever you go over, there's a tendency to sink into the thigh bone. Instead, we want to feel that it plugs up into the socket, which will create a bandha, a sense of lifted sensation, and help your core to engage. So to find this, we're going to take a foot up onto a block. So check it out. You're going to step the balls of your right toes, the toe mounds, up onto the block, and then you'll step your left foot back for warrior two. From here, you're going to bend the knee and bring the forearm onto the thigh. Then stretch your left arm all the way over. Now, because of the foot being in this position, you'll feel that it's helping to plug your right thigh into the socket. Instead of dropping into your toe mounds, you're more in the heel, which is helping to plug the thigh in. And feel as the thigh plugs in, it's helping you to get extension through your lumbar so that you're lifting and creating length and space. It's kind of cool feeling. Then come up and we'll go right into triangle with the right leg straight, maybe a little micro bend in the knee. Start to tip out and place your hand onto the block or onto the shin, but then plug from this inner and outer arch up into your hip and grow your spine long. Press to your feet and come back up. Turn your toes in. When your legs turn on, it makes it like a whole body pose. It's kind of cool. Doesn't yoga feel good? It's kind of nice. Step your other foot back. And then with the balls of the toes up on the block, start to bend the knee. And tip from your hips out over your leg. Bring your forearm down. Take your arm all the way over. So if you're doing your standing poses in this way, guess what? You're doing core work the whole time. You can do extra crunches or whatever, which we like to do, ab work, planks, but you're getting your core working just by holding yourself in good alignment. Feel the thigh plug in. As the thigh plugs in, you'll feel your bandhas turn on to support you. The bandha is the lift, energetic lift that comes through the pelvic floor and your belly. Come back up, straighten your leg except for a little micro bend, tip out over the leg for triangle pose. Feel the lift from the inner and outer arch up into the hip socket. Now feel how much more space you can get through your spine. A long spine is helping to cultivate a strong core. Then reach to your feet, come back up. Parallel your feet. Ardha Prasarita. Tip from your hips, fold forward halfway, and bring your hands up onto the block. Elongate your spine. Then this one, we're going to get kind of tricky. We'll see how this one goes. I want you to bend your right knee and slide the block over towards your foot. So we're going to get a stretch through the inner leg on the left leg. Keep cultivating a long spine, flat back. If you can do it with your fingertips on the floor, that's fine too. Then come back to center. Slide your block over to the left as you stretch to your right, and it's an inner leg experience, let me tell you. Feel a lot going on over there. And if it doesn't feel much stretch, you can go onto the fingertips, but make sure that you don't just fold over in a heap when you go into the fingertips. Still keep the elongation. Come back to center. Bring your hands to your hips and come up to stand. Turn your left leg out and step up to the top of your mat. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step back into downward dog. Then look in between your hands and come to a seated position. Sit with your legs stretched straight out in front of you, hands at your side, and use your hands to propel your spine to take it in and up. Imagine that I was going to come behind you with my knee and run it right up the back of your spine. Any part of your spine that's hanging back, it's going to feel pretty gnarly against my knee. So take that part of the spine in and up so that you won't be able to feel it. If it's still hanging back down here, then you should sit on a block for this pose, Dandasana. Roll the shoulder heads back. We're going to strengthen our back muscles to hold the shoulder back in its socket and feel the chest start to open. If you have shorter arms, you just use the fingertips if you can't get the hands flat. I have these ridiculously long gorilla arms, so I could put the hands flat onto the floor. Mine must be less evolved or something. As you take the back of the spine in and up, roll the shoulder, let the inner thighs descend. Good, then from here, lean back until you find your tailbone, sit bones, balance in between. Now squeeze up your low abs and start to bring the heels towards you. Keep taking the energy of the spine up. Bring the hands to the backs of the legs and lift them up. So keep the knees close to your chest. Squeeze up your low abs. Now without sinking back, take one arm forward. Squeeze those abs up, take both arms forward and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then set your feet down, lower down onto your back, and we're going to strengthen a little bit of flexion for Ardha Navasana. As you exhale, curl up, squeeze your side ribs in and down, bring your right leg into table, and then push your right heel forward, but keep the abs squeezed in, the side ribs hugging down. Bend that knee, set the foot down, crunch up 1 more inch. Bring the left leg into table, and then stretch it forward. Abs of steel. Oh my gosh. Bend that knee, set the foot down, lower yourself down. Then take your block, lift up your hips for supported bridge. Let those suckers rest on there for a moment. Open up your hands at your side. And then slowly stretch your right leg out along the floor. And it should feel like a nice stretch for your iliopsoas. But keep reaching your buttocks out of your back. Now, if this sucker is too tight in the hip flexors, the iliopsoas, it might start to pull on your lower back when you stretch the leg out. If that's the case, just keep the knee bent. You don't need to work the leg straight at all. And this will help to open you up really good for your up dogs, for your cobra poses. You can see it's like almost like it's like an up dog shape from my extended leg through my spine. Change legs, stretch the other leg out. And also, if you're the type of person that up dogs and things like that can bother your lower back, this is a great pose to investigate. By creating more mobility here in your hip, you're going to free up the tension that pulls on your lumbar spine when you do back bends. Then rebend that knee. Take your right leg straight up and hold, but sit your tail down towards the floor. That leg's going to start to weigh 1,000 pounds. I don't know why. This one can be so hard, just trying to hold the leg straight up. Don't shake. But this is really important to be able to keep this leg upright, the stress on the hip and in the quad, just to be able to hold the leg straight. This is going to be really important for all of our inversions. Bend that knee, change legs. Hold the leg, engage the quads, engage the leg muscles, open up the toe mounds. Good, then bend that knee, set the foot down, lift your hips and move the block to the side. And let's have a little supine twist to finish things off. So open your arms out to the side, cross your right ankle over your left knee, and slowly let your legs fall over to the left as you look to your right. Come back to center, change sides, take the legs over to the right as you look to your left. You can limit the amount that you're twisting by putting a block there, especially if you feel it like there's undue strain in your lower back, like it's torquing too much. Feel the left shoulder, arm heavy as the legs go over. Come back to center, and then stretch your legs out for Shavasana. Final meditation, relaxation pose. Let the feet fall open, let the hands fall open. Let the muscles stretch or relax from head to toe. Empty, let go. Feel the sensations in your body. Feel the breath moving in and out through your nose. Keep your focus here. And gently bend your knees. Roll over to your right side and press up. What's that feeling? What? It's the magic that comes at the end of your yoga practice. So corny. Yeah, it's so amazing. Every time I'm always amazed at the end how I feel when I practice yoga. Join your palms together, sit up tall, and just take a moment to be grateful for the shift that comes, how your body feels. Notice how your breath has changed. Observe your current mental state. Thank you. Namaste. So thanks so much for joining me on the mat today. I hope that you enjoyed the practice as much as I did today. And hey, if you enjoyed the practice, hit the thumbs up button, the like, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications so you don't miss any future videos. Also, I just want to mention, if you felt that today's video wasn't challenging enough for you, next week's video, I'm going to start to label the videos level 1, 2, level 1, so that you can kind of get an idea. This is a level 1, 2 video, not a pure beginner video, but next week's I'm going to do a level 2 video. And also, you might want to consider signing up for the Conscious Movement community, because that's where I start to post a lot of the level 2, 3 stuff, workshops that teach you inversions. So many of you guys ask for that, like, you don't teach advanced stuff on the YouTube. Well, I save that for people who are committed to their practice. They want to start to cultivate a deeper practice. So you can do that by heading over to timsinesyoga.com and signing up for the Conscious Movement community. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.